driving is a lot of fun, especially if you can go a little bit faster, but naturally, the public road isn't a racetrack. But I happen to have a proper solution for that one. Let's talk about the Moza R3 bundle. A huge benefit for getting bundles like this is that most often everything is included. This counts for the R3 bundle as well. You get your steering wheel on top with all your cables and supplies. You get your bass, which is the R3 bass, and of course your pedals as well. Without the clutch, however, but you can separately buy that and attach it to this as well. And of course you also get your desktop stand. And this is by some margin my favorite way to attach a wheel. I had my Thrustmaster F430, if I'm correct, for a long while with a clamp design. But this system is just far more secure when it comes to putting it on your desk. And that stability really matters when you have a direct drive wheel with a power of 3.9 Newton meters. Naturally, if you want some more power for your bass, you can also get that R5 bundle, which has a power of 5.5 Newton meters. And a step up from that would be the Moza R9, which comes with a 9 Newton meters of torque. But that one doesn't have a bundle version for it. But let's focus on the R3 bundle now. Now with this setup you can see that we have this round steering wheel. It is made out of great quality materials, even more so for the price that you are paying, with a very satisfying click when it comes to the shifters. The question naturally becomes if you can use for instance an F1 wheel or others. Simply put, yes, this R3 bundle does come with that quick release system, so you can swap out to different steering wheels you can get from Moza. Like for instance the FSR2 wheel with a big display and again a really solid build quality. Seriously, this is a really good wheel and having a really nice display for all your information that you can control via Moza Pit House. That being said, those wheels are naturally also coming at a cost. And if you buy a bundle like this, budget is something that you might want to consider. And if you want that F1 wheel, well, again, Moza has you covered here with an addition of an add-on. It's the ES Formula 1 wheel mod. It costs you just $39 to add this on, but it easily transforms your wheel from the base one to that of an F1 style. You do have to remove some screws, however, with the tools that are provided with it, and then you can easily attach it. So, naturally, we are here to talk about the quality and the performance of this R3 bundle. To begin with, the setup is in Moza Pit House. Moza Pit House allows you to fine-tune your setup, be it force feedback, the way that the force feedback is handled, or the curve of it, but also your pedals as well. Next to it, the attachments like adding a display on top of your bass, allowing you to change the style and the info that it shows. Also, you can create and save presets. If you have a different game that you are going to play, you can easily load or save that setup. Now with me being able to adjust the settings for that specific game, in this case Le Mans Ultimate, makes the experience far more balanced and it allows me to feel the car better than I would normally. So naturally the same goes for games like F1, Assetto Corsa or even games like American Truck Simulator is on here. But it also goes further. There's also now a great way to look at your profile and see how you can improve your lap, what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. But for me, it's definitely qualifying. I'm much better in the race trim. Naturally, there are different memberships you can have as well, but the free one easily allows you unlimited data analysis and record up to 50 laps. And in Moza Pit House, you can also start most of the games from there. Now when it comes to the experience, naturally, let's start with what I really like. The force feedback is good for a more simple setup that I have, allowing it to work really well on a desktop setup that is attached to the desktop clamp setup that you get with the bundle itself. Though I will also say the Moza R5 bundle worked perfectly fine for this kind of setup as well. You do then have a little bit more force feedback and it definitely comes in its benefit, because you do feel that you're dealing with a bit lower force feedback in some games. But for a setup like this, with the price that you're getting it for, coming from the likes of a Thrustmaster force feedback wheel, this is definitely something that makes a big difference. The wheel is also very smooth because of it being a direct drive wheel. And naturally, quality wise, as stated in the intro, is excellent. There is seriously very little to complain about a setup like this. But if I do have one, it would probably be the pedals. Not a big complaint though, because when it comes to the price to performance, I think it's good for that. But if we talk about purely the feeling of itself, you can tell that these aren't the best ones that they sell. Though in return, you can get a performance kit for pedals like these SRP light pedals. This will mean you get a bit more feel into the pedals itself and more resistance, which naturally helps with the braking, for instance, in the game itself. And it's honestly one upgrade that I would really advise for a setup like this. It's 35 euros, but it makes a difference in terms of experience and makes it a bit more realistic. Though keep in mind, if you have a setup where you don't really have something to hold back the pedals, I wouldn't necessarily advise it and keep the pedals that you have currently. They're fine, they're just not the best. Overall, when it comes to a setup for this price, I feel like you shouldn't expect an experience you would get for a kit that is twice the money. But that being said, the wheelbase is excellent for a setup like mine. A small approach of it. I really like that part of it. And you still have all the possibilities to upgrade those pedals or get different wheel setups, which they have a lot of as well. And again, they are easily swappable, making that experience really cool as well. And as of now, with the amount of testing I've done, I haven't had a single bug or complaint about the experience. Naturally, if you can spend a bit more or you want that stronger feedback, I would advise something like the R5 bundle or get something like the R9. They're simply stronger in their force feedback. Naturally though, when it comes to a comparison between the R3, the R5 and the R9, yes, the R3 is the weakest of them all when it comes to the force feedback. And yes, you will have a benefit when you have that more force feedback. But that being said, they do cost quite a bit more when it comes to a comparison like the R3 bundle. Not to mention that the R3 bundle is significantly smaller compared to the R5, but even more so compared to the R9. But when it comes to a more obscure setup where you can just simply put it away for a little bit, for that I think the R3 bundle is really good. Either way, that was my experience with the R3 bundle from Moza. Let me know if you have any specific questions about it and I will see if I can help you with some answers. And of course, check the link in the description where you can check out the bundle as well. Either way, have a good one and talk to you guys in the next.